G32 rate is higher, so
It is.
then that, okay.
Okay.
Right, so because there are multiple options for how you can get paid under the net metering law. And one is you get a credit against your retail rate, so you're basically being compensated at your retail rate.
Right.
And then after that, you're paid at the G32 rate.
Mm-hmm.
But if your retail rate is, and then there are other options that allow you, I guess, according to this docket, to be just paid at the G32 rate for everything.
Mm-hmm.
And that sounds like it's more advantageous, and that's what these numbers were based on. So again, that answers a question that I had.
The switch would be more.
Well, right, if we were, for example, if we were paying 15, and these numbers assumed the G30, or if we were paying 13, and these numbers assumed we would just get 11, then these are understated.
Right.
But if we're paying less than 11, then it doesn't matter.
Right.
A couple of things that I worked on during the week, and I think some of you saw this, where I did speak with Ken Payne about whether if we did 2 turbines, each would qualify for, at least we could apply for ERA funding for each, and he spoke with his legal counsel, and he wrote the regs, and he confirmed to me that he thought that we could. So that's no guarantee that we would get $750,000 for each, but we certainly could apply for each as a separate project
I would
in
assume
the
that
same
we
cycle.
prioritize, they have to prioritize them, like we do with other grants.
He didn't mention that.
That's probably a good question to ask, because normally if a town, no matter what the grant, applies for more than one grant for the same funding cycle, they prioritize. They request that they be prioritized.
We could, I mean, depending on how that plays out, the council could direct to say this is the, 1A and this is the one, or 2A or whatever. But
And even if you only got one, it wouldn't be any worse than the double case with
yeah.
1 750, but if you got 2
Never hurts if
750.
you're allowed to apply for 2, they have.
Right, because there aren't that many people in the implementation phase now. They're
Right.
looking to get the money.
Right.
There's quite a few applications. You mentioned the number of applications came in the first cycle. There are 86 that went in the first cycle.
For real implementation?
For the ARRA.
For construction of?
They would, well, it wasn't specified. They put in grant requests for that. And 10 of them came from Washington County Regional Planning.
Yeah, Washington County Replan mentioned that they were looking for
Right.
10.
Yeah.
You're working with them, right?
Right, yeah, and they would from that.
So it's a lot of feasibility study funding then,
Yeah.
essentially, right?
Those are,
Sounds like
all, I mean, not an overdevelopment.
Right,
Yeah.
which is why.
Right.
So which is a better bang for the buck for
Oh,
stimulus?
development.
Right.
Right, that's where the jobs are.
Yeah,
Except for-
or concrete.
Right.
So that's something that you should know about. We also, because I heard Mike Schnack's concern about the interconnection down Fort Getty Road, and I asked Danny if it was true that that the interconnect to do one turbine at Fort Getty would need new towers and the T things and the big lines that Mike was concerned about, and I'll let you explain the answer to that.
All right, then I reread that section of the report and then asked our electrical engineer what changes need to be made. And what he said was that, and you'll probably recall this, there's a single phase line going to Fort Getty from a 3-phase line that's on Beavertail Road, right? So when you take, that's a 4 kV circuit going to Fort Getty, which is one leg of
4160.
I'm sorry?
One leg of 4160, so
Right.
2400.
Exactly. So in order to connect the turbine, you just need the 3-phase, and that particular line size would be exactly the same as the line going to Fort Getty. So
just have to add
Beavertail. So it's not going to look any different, basically.
It's the same pole.
In the same pole with the T-stickers, but I don't know what they actually
Hold on,
do. You may know this,
It
but
does look different. It's,
Right.
you got a single phase, which is one
Now,
wire and
one
a
wire.
ground.
Right,
That's
right.
it. You're gonna put cross members on there. And
Correct.
You're gonna put bigger wires.
And there's gonna be 3 wires.
There's gonna be 3.
Right.
So it'll look a lot different.
but it'll look exactly like the line that now goes down to Beavertail.
One pole sticking up with a little, isolated. It just looks different.
It does.
Takes up more airspace.
But it will look just like the line that goes down to Beavertail.
It'll look just like the line going across Macro Cove.
Cross
So that
Macro
will
Cove as well,
change.
exactly.
Macro Cove has the pole with the cross piece.
Right.
So he's saying they're gonna generate it 4160?
Yeah,
Up-
I mean,
up to
that
Clark,
will
up to
handle
the
anything.
high line?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
National Grid will
I
be
guess-
the
I guess
ultimate
that's
arbiter
what-
because they always are.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Yeah, that's what he said. And I think you passed out a copy of the email so you can hear his words exactly. I think the single phase was 2.4, the 3 phases 4.6.
But I have to confess, I misinterpreted that in terms of what the implications for the polling would be. I thought you just were changing one line for another, not that you had to have.
No, there'd be three
Yeah.
lines.
You're gonna
Well,
have cross members in
right.
there, which you don't have, which is
Right.
a visual.
Right, change.
But it won't look like the huge line that comes into Fort Wetherell and then heads to the substation. That's totally different. That's a 23 kV line.
And the poles about
Exactly, and they're
15
enormous.
feet higher, and the
Right.
cross members about
Totally different.
5 feet wider. and-
Right, and that's the one that he was afraid of, because that's what they wanted to bring across the bay from North Kingstown.
That's
or
60,
Narragansett.
that's 65 kV.
That was even bigger, right?
But we said, we said we were gonna consider putting it underground, right?
Right.
If we said we were gonna put it again.
Right.
Okay.
But the cost of the burying the wire is several $1 million, basically.
What is it, just for Fort Getty Road?
Yeah, that wouldn't be.
The underground in Crossing Memorial Cove or in Fort Getty?
I mean,
Just for
just
getting
worst
it
case
down.
scenario, probably about 750,000 a mile.
And it's 4/10 of a mile, I think, from the pole that's there at Fort Getty to the pole that's at the Fort Getty entrance road and Beaverdale Road. I think that's the number he used. We marked it off in the car.
To almost where it connects to Southwest Ave, I mean?
No, not going to Smithfield, I think it's at Fort.
So we're saying about $300,000 just for Fort Getty Road.
Something like
Oh, so
that.
you're saying the Fort Getty part, from the
Right.
start of the road to where
To go to where the line is
Oh,
already
okay.
Right.
serviceable. So, you know, this is the first formal meeting of the committee since we made our formal recommendation to the town, and then we found out about the G32 rate, and so I wanted to ask the committee members if we wanted to consider reformulating our recommendation to the town, and if so, what would people like to recommend?
Didn't you already sort of do that by saying, recommending 2?
That was my personal recommendation, I think I was pretty clear about that, because we hadn't met, and I think it's fair to say, I think we should do 2. I think that it's
Still your personal recommendation.
It is still my personal, that's the way I will vote. It's, you know, I see $9 million of town revenue in an environment in which the state is cutting our budget. I see no loss of revenue from the campers because we can put it in a way that won't interfere with them. That we can make the interconnect either buried and improve the streetscape on Fort Getty or change it moderately and have more money for other things in the town. And I just think it's, and we might be able to get $1.5 million in equity instead of $750,000 in equity to build these 2 turbines. So
Another benefit of doing 2 at once is, if we're ever going to do 2, it would probably be better to do 2 at once because you have to get all of that equipment over here onto the island.
and you can pay for it.
And that mobilization and demobilization cost is substantial and would therefore be divided amongst 2 projects rather than just 1 project. So the dollars per kilowatt will definitely go down a little bit by doing 2 of them at once, if we plan on doing 2 in the long run.
If I were a committee member, I would vote for your, to support your recommendation.
Wait, you're not on the committee either?
I have a question. You met with the campaign. Was there,
I suppose.
so did you discuss the Rhode Island Renewable Energy Fund money as well as the AR money?
No, just air.
Just the AR money, okay. Do you have any sense as to whether if we got AR, we would not be able to get the money from the Rhode Island Renewable Energy?
He was just generally enthusiastic.
They're not related.
Right.
They're not, yeah, those are independent, right?
Two different
Yeah,
pools.
yeah, and
So-
I spoke to Julian Bash up at Economic Development Corporation, and he said whenever we are ready, it's due by March 31st, but when we select a site, we